So yeah, here are my like final thoughts on Tenpai this season. Tenpai Sky Striker this season, getting to master rank was crazy hard. Like 4 out of 5 games I was playing was literally Blue Eyes, and Tenpai just does not deal with like Cypher Dragon well. But it was tough. Forbidden Droplet was a savior, but in the end I managed to get there, and to be honest it was fairly straightforward. It was only like I had like a few days where it was just so tough because it was just constantly Blue Eyes, and just they have so much to deal with this deck, but I still think this deck is good. Ultimate Slayer, it went from being bad for me to being really good. A lot of Blue Eyes players didn't negate it, and it managed to like kind of set things off in motion for me. Droplet, this was a savior card. Literally being able to just negate their Cypher or whatever they try and negate you with. Also, Droplet can dodge the Primite spell card, I forgot its name, friggin' Drill Beam. Super Poly, I put it in here, then took it out, then put it back in. Like, I don't know if I like it, but then in the end I just said I needed it because of Blue Eyes, and yeah, it came in handy. I added Shark Cannon, but then I ended up taking it out because I never used it. But this was the list I used for the master rank. I'm not sure what I would change. It's just hard right now. Like, basically what I'm saying is, if you can find something that can deal with Blue Eyes better than Super Poly, put it in there instead of Super Poly, and you should be fine. Like, this deck is still good. It's still good enough to get to master. What else is in here? But yeah, no one ever negates Upstart Goblin. If you face someone who negates your Upstart Goblin, they know what to do. They just quit because they know how to deal with Sky Striker Tenpai, okay? But yeah, literally no one negates Upstart Goblin, so I'm glad I put that in there. It's not needed, but it's nice. But yeah, that's just kind of my final thoughts. I'll also have an Exodia video coming soon, because I randomly made Exodia like a day ago, and somehow I managed to rank up with it in Master. I'm still learning the deck, but like it's easy as hell. So I'll have that coming soon, and I'll definitely have more Sky Striker Tenpai videos, so watch out for that, and thank you to everyone for watching and subscribing.